Well, after I got a bunch of sticks cleaned up out there in the yard, and then I picked one out here that I want to get on with. And you see me strip a little more of the bark and get it polished up. And you see it's got a little hook on the end of it there. And I figured that's just right. But out of scrap pieces of wood and epoxy that you will see in another video on how I made these, polished to a high gloss. And that is to go right on the end of that. Didn't want this one to go straight up. I wanted it to go at an angle, which it will. And see, I've already drilled a hole in it. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch dowel right there, and then that'll go right there in the end of that stick. So what I'm getting ready to do now is to dye this stick. What I'm going to do is show you how I do that and what I do it with. The name of it you can see here is Speedo Super Black. It's like India ink is what it is. It's real thin and it's real black. That's going to be coated all over this stick because I want something to match this black epoxy that's on the knob here. So let's get on with that and see what it's going to look like. I got a couple shop towels of paper, but anyway, I'm going to see how this stuff, the best way to put this on. I don't have a lot of experience. I've used some of it on something. But you need rubber gloves, that's for sure, because it is ink, and it really soaks it up, and we're going to have to probably dry overnight. But I want a ebony look to this once we get it done, and I don't know any better way of doing this except what I'm doing. You see me just pouring it out, and then I'm rubbing it on. And we get all the spots covered, and that is supposed to turn your wood into ebony. We'll see. I think once we get a gloss finish on it after it dries, it'll be pretty close to it. Yep, I think we got it, every bit of it. So let's just call that quits for right now, and we will see you when it's dry. Now, as we can see here, got my paper towel laid under the stick that I'm getting ready to finish. It is black, that's what I wanted. No, I don't see any grain at all. This will be my first, but I'm going to use Waterlux on this. Well, now here we are the next day after the black ink treatment, and it's fairly glossy, not completely glossy all over, but it has a good look to it that will match the knob that I made out of the scrap wood and epoxy. So we're going to process now, mixing some of the JB Clear Weld 2-part epoxy, and we are going to mix that right now, and we'll have just a little bit of it here. We'll get about equal amounts out there. It looks pretty good. Now what we'll do is mix that real well, and I buy my popsicle sticks at Harbor Freight. Hobby Lobby marks them up a little more, so you can get them cheaper at Harbor Freight. Popsicle sticks come from the same place. A piece of wood is a piece of wood, but they all come from China, no matter which place you buy them. So take your pick. Either pay more for it and go to Hobby Lobby, or you can get them at Harbor Freight. Now, this, I'll put this down in that little hole right there, and there'll be a lot of it get away, just like they do on our border here when they come across. A lot of getaways on that, and you have some getaway on your epoxy here that will really be okay. Now, what I want to do is put a little bit of it in that hole on top here. We don't want it running down on our nice shiny surface there. So what we do is just put a little epoxy there and then stick that down, right down in there like that. Now we know that's seated real good. Do that first, because that's normally is not as deep as the hole in your stick. Now the hole in the stick with that bottoming out there, it don't matter how deep this one is, it's not going to bottom out of that hole, and you're going to be able to go all the way down on there and seat that really good. And you just seat it, turn it any way you want to. The ball is perfectly round, which your stick is not, but you just look at it and see where you think it fits the best. No matter where you turn it, it's going to be about the same. So let's just stand that up now against something to where it don't turn. Stand that right up against that can you can see here. And I'm just going to let it rest there. This is a 5-minute epoxy, and should only take 5 minutes to where you can't really pull it back off, but I found that you can pull them off after 5 minutes. I'd recommend at least 15 minutes, and we'll be back and take a look at it. I lost audio for this part, so I'll continue with the voiceover. I will now demonstrate how I tie what I call my paracord nest. First, cut off a piece of paracord about 8 foot long, find the middle, then tie an overhand knot at where the knob joins the stick as shown in the video. Then tie that same knot on the opposite side of the stick and continue to tie over and under, making sure that the loop goes around the knob every other tie. I will leave a link in the description below to another one of my videos describing in detail about how to tie a paracord nest. After you've made 6 to 8 loops around the stick, put a few drops of CA glue over the knot to hold it in place. Then cut the paracord, leaving just enough to tuck the ends under so as to hide each end. The 2 ends are now tucked under the paracord to hide the ends. Here's a close look at what the paracord nest looks like. Okay, now thankfully we'll get back to regular audio. Okay, I'm going to do a paracord wrap today on this, and that'll finish it up. So first, I got a little mark here that's where my wrist strap is going to be approximately. The hand's going to be right here, and the wrist strap be somewhere around. But what I've done is make me a little mark here, and that's going to be covered by the paracord. But what you do is just I use a V-block, and I have a V-block there that I lay the wood in to keep it from rolling around. I got my place marked where I want to start, and I peel off for this particular wrap about 16 or 18 foot of wrap. Find the middle of it, put the 2 ends together, bring this all the way back down. We have a loop right there in the middle. So what I want to do is, let's see, to start with, I get me a short piece, double it, so right about there, the wrist strap's going to be about 6 inches, so tear off a piece of tape. I just use a little piece of blue painter's tape. I get that loop and I pull it down a reasonable amount, and I figure out I'm going to start the wrap right about here. So I'm going to go right in there somewhere and start. So what you do is just hold that on there like that. Okay, before we get started, take a little piece of scrap paracord. I've got a just short piece you don't need, but you actually need a piece about 24 inches long at least. But I got this piece, so I want to go down, I want to start it up above this little mark, and I'm going to go at least 6 inches, so I can go all the way to that block. I'm going to put mine just like about right there. Now where I want the wrist strap to come out of, this is going to be facing forward, so that's going to be toward the body. So I want this strap to be, it don't matter how long this sticks down below here, but I want that strap, the paracord to be right together, and I want to tape it right there. So just so it don't fall off. Then I want to take the other one and tape it way below where you're going to go. Tape it right in there somewhere. There you go. That tape didn't hold very good, so I'm going to put another one. But right there, as you can see now, I have that piece just taped right down. It's doubled. This end's hanging out. I'll show you what that's used for in a minute. But now your 16, 18 foot piece, I've doubled it, and I've got it, that's the center of it. Hold both ends together, run it out, find the center, and there you have it. Now what I want to do to that now is run it, that end of the stick. Well, that's going to interfere with it. I'm going to get another piece of tape here and keep that from just being in the way. I'm going to tape it up out of the way. Now, I want to just tie a lace knot that just like you're going to lace a shoe up. That knot's going to start right where you want your wrist strap to pop out at. So it can be right in there somewhere. Getting down tight. You want to keep it tight all the time as you're doing this. Now, I'll just tie me another loose knot right here. And you're going to slip it underneath here, underneath the end, because this knot is going to be on the bottom. And tighten, keep them tight as you go. Another slip knot. Okay, there's that one on the other side. Now there's that one. Keep that tight. And I'm going to pull this one tight. They're kind of tricky to keep tight till you get it started good. We want another one. There we go. Keep that pull tight. And it's going to start staying where you want it here before long. Okay. Now, pull another one through there. Another slip knot. Just like you're getting ready to tie a shoe. You want to pull that up through. Tighten it again. I got a knot that's on top. Now we want to tie another one on the bottom. So we go through here, run it through there. And you got a lot of string there. You want to tighten that down again because it wants to come loose once you start twisting it around there. Now you got several rounds, and then go right to the top. Go through there again, and just make another knot like you're tying your shoe. So each knot, that knot's going to be right below where that one, the other one was at. I pull them every once in a while to keep the curls out of them. But run it underneath. Pull you another one through and let it come right down against it. See what we got going here real good is it's going to be tied right on around. One knot on top, one knot on the bottom, and it goes all the way around. Kind of simple, most simple paracord wrap you can make is done right here. So come up another one, tie it like that, and just pull it down. Tighten her down. Now you want to, like I said, you'll see with this paracord, it wants to get twisted, and you'll have to get the twist out of it every once in a while. But I just pull, but you want them to stay real tight around that stick as you go. And we'll just keep going around until we get it as long as we want it, taking it right on down the stick. And I'll get another one here. See, you can still see that, yeah. And another one here. I want to just keep it going. Pull that tight. It just don't like to stay, that paracord don't like to stay tight. It's kind of hard to do. It'd be easier to do if you had somebody with you to hold down on that knot while you tied the other one. That'd be the real way to go. But I'm usually out here by myself, and I want to loop that around. We'll get a good look at this after it's all done, and you can kind of see it better. But I'm telling you, it's a beautiful wrap, and it's the easiest one to do. If you can't do this one, you can't do any of them. I always retighten, and then I pull the other option tight, just like that. I'm gonna go all the way down towards the one, and then I'll be back and show you what we put that loop on there for. Now let's take a look at this now. See, I've got this wrapped all the way down the stick, a nice size for the grip. I'm wanting the wrist strap up here. So far there's no strap there. But you see, I've tied it down to where I just have a short pigtail left here. Probably be too short if I went around again. The tape wrap, we'll turn that loose now. Now what I want to do is pull that loop up. I'm going to stick this one through the loop, stick this end of your knot through that loop, just like that. But what I want to do is keep this tight at the same time. And where that comes, this loose end comes under that, then go in the top of the loop. This one will go in the opposite direction, like this, and pull it up. Now, get a hold of this and pull it head up a little more. Keep that knot tight. Now we want to pull that through there. That will pull these ends up real snug onto that. Just have a little knot there at the bottom. Keep working with it until you get it kind of out of sight there. What I want to do now is cut it off fairly short, and fairly short here. After we put a little bit of hard knot stuff right there, that's to keep that from coming loose. And we can stick these underneath the cord with just a little small screwdriver, just tuck them completely under there. See, there's a little end right there sticking out where you cut it. Over here, it's tucked under there to where you don't see anything. So now I'm going to go to tucking that under there a little bit more. Now about got it. Now, put it upside down so that glue don't run the wrong direction. And I'll just put a little bit of that on there in that knot. Now that don't go anywhere now. That leaves this sticking out, two strands sticking right out the top. You can just come up here, tie a knot. What I want to do is go up here with enough room, and I want to just create a little slip knot here to make it to where it will slip up and down this other string, and tie that in the way you want to there to make a fairly snug knot. And that knot you want to slip up and down. That tightens up on your wrist. So there you go. I would cut this one off very short, or about like that. And I like to leave the other one a little bit longer. All right, there you have it. Now that'll slip up and down or tighten on your wrist. Now, to get your little torch and cook that, so get you a little ball. And that don't pull back through there then. Now that nylon gets hot like that, you have to let it cool or you'll burn your finger, but you can go up here now and pull that right down. It's pretty snug on a big wrist, any size wrist you got. So let's bring it around and take a look at it now and see what it looks like. Well, here's another one. We have I'm going to call this my ebony stick. You see it's black as ebony all the way down. Left it a little bit long so whoever gets it can cut it off a little if they want. But it's about 58 inches, probably 56 comes right in here. So that's 58, less than 60 inches. I leave them a little long like that on purpose. Some people likes them long like this. And I'm 6 foot tall and it comes right up to here on me. So there you have it. And this paracord wrap was very simple. You see how I went around, it gives that lace look on there. And it's got, you put that loop in there first and that pulls that knot right down snug, makes a neat looking knot at the end there. And it also leaves you a couple hanging out up here for the wrist strap to go through there. And handy little thing you can hang it up onto. But you get in somewhere out in the woods and you want a little snug up, there you go. And I guess that about does it. We got a paracord, black paracord nest on the end of it. This is our epoxy and scrap wood on the knob here. So there we go. That is it for today. And quite pleased with how it came out. The ebony walking stick with the scrap wood knob. Anyhow, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. For 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a drawing. I'll announce that way ahead of time. And it'll be to give away one of my walking sticks. In appreciation to all my subscribers. All my subscribers will be eligible. I'll probably have you make some sort of a comment and put a word in a comment or something like that. And then the computer will have a random drawing to find out who won it. So, and I'll ship that anywhere within the continental United States. Sorry, I can't ship them overseas because shipping is just prohibitive when you go to a package this big. But drawing's going to be eligible all over the world. So, because I do have a lot of friends in England, Canada, Ireland, all over, just to name a few, Hawaii, Australia, don't want to leave any out. But what I'm going to do, these sticks that I give away is going to be valued at least $100. So I'll announce that too. If you live outside of the continental U.S. and your name is drawn, I'll give you the money instead and I can send that to you. But it just costs too much to ship one of these things overseas out of the continental United States right now. So we'll have something figured out by then, but help me get 5,000 subscribers. That's what I got to do before I give away one of these sticks. If you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button and tell all your friends about it. Bring them in there and have them click that subscribe button. Get me up to 5,000 and then you'll be getting one of these in the mail maybe. So give me a like if you liked it. And if you want to see more, subscribe. That's about all I can say for right now. Other than, I'll see you in the next video.